What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. I think this will be episode number 236, but I can't be sure. But it's the World Cup final with Portugal anyway, that's all you need to know. And I'm also going to crop this bit out directly after this because I don't want you guys to see any of the transfer business I've been doing. So back in a second. And here we are. So yeah, of course, as the new season's now started, and I've been intentionally hiding all the emails and the transfer business from you guys. So I don't want to go to the main menu because you might see some news articles and stuff. But it is the World Cup final anyway. Yeah, World Cup final against Germany. And yeah, to be honest, I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I don't really care too much. I'm really disappointed, as you guys would have seen in what probably would have been the last episode. EA have just completely ruined this tournament for me. They really have. The whole point of me playing this tournament, the whole point of me playing with Portugal is so I could win the World Cup with Cristiano Ronaldo. So after the group stage, what do EA decide to do? Retire Cristiano Ronaldo. It's just ridiculous. But even so, I'm going to be hoping to win this, and I think we can. I think we can. I know Germany's side's going to be really good, but what I'm worried about is the fact we scraped through. You know, we genuinely scraped through against Chile and against, who are the other teams we played? God, I only played them a few minutes ago, I've already forgotten. But Chile and I have literally no idea who we just played. That is how bad my memory is. I've got such bad short-term memory loss, but we scraped through against 3 teams anyway, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to win the World Cup final. But again, I'm really not that interested because the whole point was so I could lift the trophy with Cristiano Ronaldo, because I've always wanted to see him do it in real life, but I don't think it's ever going to happen, unfortunately. So, you know, just being able to do it on the game would be lovely for me. But who do we? Oh, Italy and Egypt. There you go. God, my memory's terrible. But yeah, it's the World Cup final, and again, I'm not too bothered if we lose it, but I'm still hoping to win, obviously, and there you go. But anyway, it's a live commentary, of course, and for the live commentaries, I do ask questions from Twitter, so thank you very much for all of you that ask questions. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at @DocLanders if you wish to do so, and you guys can get involved with the videos. And I've said before, I really like doing live commentaries in the finals, because not only does it vary up the content style, but it also gives you guys a chance to get involved, you know, and I really like that, because obviously, as I said before, being a career mode YouTuber, not you know, on its own, I do online stuff as well. But you know, for the most of my videos, they are sort of offline stuff, and that's kind of hard to get you guys involved, you know. So that's why I like doing live commentaries, because you guys can feel more involved and yeah, change the content style up, and it's all very nice to do. But yeah, I've got a few questions, and thanks to everyone that asked questions. As per usual, I can't answer everything, so I apologise for that if I miss your question out, but I'll try my best anyway. And yeah, there you go. And I'm just looking down them now as well. I've got loads and loads of questions about football, and I've got no problem answering those questions whatsoever. But I should say straight away, if my opinions differ to yours on football, don't take them to heart, because I'm wrong 99% of the time. Even though I called something brilliantly today, which I'll talk about in just a moment, which I got right, and yeah, I'm wrong 99% of the time. And also with football, it's kind of hard to talk about it as well, because these videos, I do the commentaries like a week or two before the videos get put up, so I might say something, and then by the time the video gets put up, the opposite might have happened, you know, so that's kind of frustrating. So keep that in mind as well. If I say something like, oh yeah, Kadir is going to join Arsenal or whatever, and then he goes to Chelsea, you know, keep it in mind that I'm doing these videos like a week before. That's not me saying I think Kadir is going to go to Arsenal, I'm just saying, you know, just keep in mind that the commentary might not always be 100% correct because of the fact I do the commentary a week beforehand. But let's take a look at Germany's side anyway. They've got some decent players. I'm looking at some of these just thinking there's quite a few in there for my Hertha Berlin career mode, but even so, there's some decent players in there, but I still think our side's probably going to be the favourite. But anyway, yeah, thanks for the questions, and let's get into the game, and hopefully we will be able to win the World Cup with Portugal, even without the lovely Cristiano Ronaldo. But even so, I will say as well, Bruma is unbelievable on this game. Like, I know he had good potential, but Bruma is insane. He's so quick, isn't he? But anyway, let's get into this. And the first question comes from Kazagil, and he says, which FIFA is your favourite and why? My favourite FIFA is a difficult one to answer. Probably FIFA 08. I really enjoyed that for some reason, and FIFA 09 was good as well. I like FIFA 09. But to be honest, ever since FIFA 10, FIFA has gone on like a really, really like downward spiral. Like it really has. You know, FIFA 11, FIFA 12, FIFA 13, and now FIFA 14. It's just got worse year after year. You know, so I'm really hoping that FIFA 15, as my phone is ringing in the background, I'm not going to answer it. I really hope that FIFA 15 is much better than FIFA 14 because over the past few years, it's just got worse and worse and worse in my opinion. But yeah, I'll go with FIFA 08 or possibly FIFA 09 as well. Next question comes from Andrea, also known as Mr. Italiano in the USA. He says, which team will you be doing a career mode with in FIFA 15? Now, I've been asked this question quite a lot. The answer, and I can understand why you guys have been asking the questions, because a lot of you are new subscribers or weren't here when we started the FIFA 14, weren't here when FIFA 14 first came out. I always do a straw poll and I let you guys decide on the team. So what will happen is over the summer, in the next month or so, I'll draw up like a short list of, you know, I don't know, 8 or 10 teams that I would like to do, and then I'll let you guys choose between the final 4 or 5 a week or two before FIFA 15 comes out. So I'll let you guys choose. You know, I've got a couple which I'm thinking of, but I won't tell you what they are right now. All I'll say is one of them is one of the newly promoted sides to the Premier League, and one of them is from the Championship. But I've got a few sides I'm thinking of, but yeah, you have to wait and see until, let's say, mid-September, early September time, and I'll let you guys choose the team for me. Next question comes from Jake Nelson. He says, who will United sign next and where will they finish? Keep in mind, 18th of July for me, so anything could happen by the time this video goes up. I don't really know, to be honest. I know there's a lot of talk they might be going in for Vidal. Personally speaking, there was a really weird journalist tweet today saying they were looking into the possibility of signing Yaya Toure. I was like, I don't think so somehow, but that would be crazy if that actually happens. I don't really know, to be honest. I really don't. I've got a great chance for a counter. Oh, he's Bruma, and oh, it's a heavy first touch, and it's a save with the goalkeeper. Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. I'd love to see them sign Vidal. I really would. I think Vidal's an amazing midfielder. I think he's one of the best in his position in the world. I'd love to see them sign him. But I don't really know. It'll be interesting, though. It'll be interesting. Of course, they've already signed a couple of players already for their, you know, seemingly first 11 in Luke Shaw and Herrera came in as well, and I'm probably missing one as well, but they've already signed a couple of players anyway. So I don't know who they'll be looking to next, but yeah, it'll be interesting, to be honest. And as for where they'll finish, I hope they're back in the top 4 next year. I really do. I'm not biased towards United, no matter what some people think. But I do hope they're back in the top 4, because it was, you know, I don't know what it is exactly, but, you know, European nights at Old Trafford are always really, really special for some reason. But even so, I'd like to see them back in the top 4, but I don't know. It will be a very, very interesting first season for Louis van Gaal, you know. It'll be interesting to see how he approaches it and how well he settles in early. It'll be very interesting to see how, you know, quickly he hits the ground running anyway. And I'd like to say they'll be back in the top 4, but I'm not entirely sure, so I'm not really going to call it, because I can't be. It's just one of those. It really is. Like with United this year, you know, they could finish in the top 4. They could finish as title winners. They could finish 5th or 6th. You know, it's such a difficult one to call. But I'd like to see them back in the top 4, but it's a very difficult one to call. So I'll rather not embarrass myself, because I'm sure I'll probably get it completely wrong. Next question comes from Alex. He says, advice for someone starting YouTube. I say this all the time, you know, go in, you know, sort of assess your goals, basically. That's the first thing I'd say, assess your goals. What do you really want to do on YouTube? You know, do you just want to have fun? Do you just want to do it as a hobby? Do you want to make it a job? Do you want to gain new skills? You know, assess your goals and genuinely be honest about what you... what you really want to do, you know. Because if you want to do it as a job, yet you approach it as wanting, you know, yet you approach it in the same way you would as a hobby, then you're probably not going to reach your goal, if that makes sense, you know. And if you approach it with the intention of gaining new skills, yet you just do it as a hobby, you probably won't gain any new skills, because you'll just be doing it in your leisure time. So, you know, assess your goals, think about what you want to do, and then, you know, set out ways to try and do them. You know, that's the best advice at all. And, you know, just remember that, you know, YouTube is a very, you know, overpopulated market right now. Every man and his dog is doing YouTube. And, you know, if you're someone who really wants to grow their channel on a very quick timescale, chances are you won't, you know. So keep that in mind. Keep it realistic. And, I guess that would be my best advice. I think my channel is a really good example for that, you know. I've been doing YouTube for, in August, 3 years. So I've been doing YouTube for 3 years, and I've been doing it on a regular basis for 3 years. You know, not just on and off, but on a regular basis for 3 years. And, you know, I only hit 50,000 subscribers a couple of weeks ago. So, you know, I think my channel's a good example of, you know, it's very, very hard to gain subscribers on a very quick time, in a quick amount of time. But yeah, there you go. Next question comes from, I had one shot so far in this game. There's been nothing really in the first half an hour. Next question comes from Cashless Crime. He says, when did you start playing FIFA? I think my first FIFA game was FIFA 98 World Cup or FIFA 99. One of those two. I know I had FIFA 99. I can't remember whether I had FIFA 98 World Cup. I think I did, because I know the theme song was I get knocked down but I get up again. So I think I did, but if not, then FIFA 99. And God, playing those games on the old chipped PlayStation 1, that's an experience I'll never get back. Next question comes from Christian. He says, why no Gazaniga this year? It's because, Christian, as people who have been subscribed to me for a long time will know, I always make a new cult hero on every single career mode, and I never buy them back. So that's the answer to that. It's very simple. I don't like the idea of having returning cult heroes in different seasons, different series, because it seems like that will sort of take the shine away from it a little bit. But yeah, there you go. Next question comes from Stillborn Unicorn. That is just one of the best Twitter names I've ever read. He says, how do you think Van Gaal will do at United? Yeah, I just said I hope he does well. I really do. It will be very, very interesting to see how he does. I would like to see him hit the ground running, but it could be quite difficult for him. But we'll have to wait and see it. Again, I think it's one of those which could go well, but it could go really, really badly as well. But hopefully it's the former. And next question comes from Tianan McNamee. I'm getting through so many of these questions so quickly. He says, oh, that was a great ball. Oh, he's offside. He says, okay, I've already answered that question. Sorry, I don't need to answer that one. Sorry, next question comes from that guy, and he says, opinion on Millwall's transfer window so far. It's been hard to really talk about, to be honest, because there haven't been too many players to sort of, you know, spit my coffee out in the morning, or any players sort of get me off my seat, as you'd expect really for a Championship side that isn't really that wealthy. You know, at the end of the day, I trust Holloway. I said this in one of my last live commentaries. I really do trust Holloway. So I'm not sitting there thinking, all these players are going to be really, really bad. And, you know, for example, we signed Ricardo Fuller today on a free agent. We signed Ricardo Fuller, of course, formerly of Stoke and Blackpool and other clubs as well, quite a few clubs actually in England. And yeah, we signed Ricardo Fuller, and he's the type of player who, you know, experienced striker. He could be the type of player who sort of steals a wage packet, or he could be the type of player who comes in and does really, really well for us. You know, it's hard to determine how these players are going to be until the season starts, you know, because obviously these aren't players who we have a vast amount of experience, you know, in terms of knowledge, for me at least, you know, because although I'll know who the players are, I can't sort of, you know, tell you how amazing they're going to be, and I can't sit there and say, you know, oh yes, I'm so glad we signed him because he's exactly who I wanted, you know, and that's one of the things about being a fan of a lower league club, usually, because there are so many options at that sort of level. You know, it's hard to sort of determine who you exactly want, and that's why I trust Holloway, you know, I really do. And you know, so we signed Ricardo Fuller today. I hope he does well. He is a decent striker. We signed Lee Gregory from Halifax, the non-league striker who had a very deadly record last year, so hopefully he does well. We signed Byron Webster. We've got Magai Gay on trial. We've also got Matthew Briggs on trial, who we, you know, I really hope we do sign. He played against Dartford in a pre-season friendly a couple of nights ago. Apparently played quite well, as did Magai Gay. So I'd like to sign both of those. I'd like him to sign both of those two players on free agents. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's hard to determine, you know, whether I'm happy or not. I'll have to wait until the season to make a comment, really. But I trust Holloway. I guess that's all I can say, to be honest. Is that Barner Striker or Bama Striker 9? He says, any tips for when you're going one-on-one with the goalkeeper? I think, you know, someone else should be giving me tips for this. I'm terrible at one-on-ones. I miss the majority of my one-on-ones. I lack composure, and my finishing is always poor, and I always make the wrong choice. I would say the best thing to do is try and get your mental state of mind right. I think one-on-ones are, you know, half about skill and half about the mentality you go into it, you know. If you're pessimistic about your chances, you might miss that chance, you know. Same with penalties, really. So I guess my best advice is to try and get yourself sort of mentally prepared. So when you're running one-on-one, don't sit there and start thinking, oh my god, I'm going to mess it up, I'm going to mess it up, I'm going to mess it up, like I do. Try and give yourself some positive sort of, because if you have a one-on-one chance, usually you've got like 3 or 4 seconds before you can, actually get to the goal and get to take the shot. So, try and get yourself some positive vibes going in your mind, and also decide on what you want to do before you reach the goalkeeper. Before you reach a few yards away from the goalkeeper, decide on what you want to do. Do you want to finesse it? Do you want to blast it? Or do you want to round the goalkeeper? Choose one of those 3 scenarios, because if you don't choose one before you get really close, you'll probably change your mind, and that will sort of hinder your chances of scoring. So I guess that's my best advice. Pick what you want to do early, and also try your hardest to get yourself positive as you go through one-on-one. Next question comes from Lawrence Roberts. He says, what do you think about Leicester spending £7 million on, I can't pronounce this guy's name, the striker from Brighton, it's ULLOA, and the Argentine, and Fulham spending £11 million on McCormack. £18 million in total spent on Championship strikers. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just a sign of the times. It really is. The prices you have to pay for some players now are just absolutely ridiculous. When you think just a few seasons ago, or a couple seasons ago either, Michu came into Swansea for £2 million and was one of the best buys of that season. And now you're looking at Leicester, a newly promoted side, needing to spend their money wisely, spending £7 million on a striker from Brighton. I don't know, it's just an £11 million from McCormack, and I like McCormack, by the way, I really do, but is he worth £11 million? I don't think so. So, yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous, to be honest, because I'm sure there are cheaper options out there, but it's just clubs in England, they hold their players to ransom nowadays. They hold clubs to ransom, and they just say, hey, you want our player? Well, you're going to have to spend the big bucks, or else you're going to go abroad, and the reason why clubs don't tend to want to go abroad as much is because those players are unproven in English football, and of course English football is, usually quite a different style to playing abroad. It's a lot more physical, and there's the ice cream van. I swear, I put out a tweet yesterday, right, saying, I swear the ice cream van knows when I do commentaries, because he always comes when I turn my microphone on. It's ridiculous. Every single time I commentate, the ice cream van comes around. But, yeah, as I said there, as I was rudely interrupted by the ice cream van, at the end of the day, clubs will hold other clubs to ransom via their players, because if they want, they can force them against their will, if you will, to stay and honour their contract, because they don't have to sell them. And if they are going to sell them, they're going to say to the clubs, if you want them, you've got to spend the big bucks. And it's so frustrating to see that, it really is. But even so, it's just one of those things. And again, I don't think either of those players are worth that amount of money. I think both strikers are very decent. I really do. I think McCormack's a fantastic striker. I think both of those strikers could do the job in the Premier League, but I still think it's overpriced for both of the players, to be honest. And there would be cheaper options in the foreign markets. And here's a chance. Here's a chance. Here's a chance. I haven't really had too many clear-cut chances in this game, but neither had Germany. So, yeah, come on, Fernandes. Come on, come on. That's nice passing. That's nice. Oh, come on, Guerrero. No, I can't seem to break Germany down. I really can't. In the 3 games I played in the knockout stages, I just couldn't seem to put the ball in the back of the net enough times, and that was why we had 2 penalty shootouts in a row. And I'm fearing the worst for this one as well. I really am. I feel like this will probably go all the way as well if I don't get a move on and score a goal. Anyway, next question comes from where are we? Yasin Kirchev. He says, how will possible James Rodriguez and confirmed Toni Kroos signing change the Real Madrid midfield? It's hard for me to comment on that because I don't watch La Liga. I only watch the El Clasico and the Madrid derbies and some of the Copa del Rey, and obviously the Spanish sides in the Champions League. It's hard for me to comment on that, but to be honest, I think Kroos is a fantastic player, and I can't work out for sure why Bayern Munich didn't seem to make more of an effort to keep him there. As far as I'm aware, from what I read from journalists and articles, from what I read, there was a big dispute with the pay that Toni Kroos wanted at Bayern Munich. Now, I might be wrong about this, I might be wrong, so if I am wrong, please forgive me, I'm just getting this from other sources, but from what I heard, it was a dispute over the pay. It was that Toni Kroos wanted to be one of the highest earners at Bayern Munich, and they wouldn't honour that. And that's a real surprise, because Kroos has obviously been at Bayern Munich for, I think, his whole career, other than 1 season he spent at Bayern Leverkusen. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure he spent 1 season on loan at Leverkusen and spent the rest of his career at Bayern Munich. He's been at Bayern Munich for a long time anyway. He is one of the best German midfielders. He is an unbelievably fantastic player when it comes down to spreading the ball around and also shooting from distance. Kroos is a really decent midfielder, you know. Jesus. And, you know, Kroos is a really decent midfielder. Oh, goodness sake, what a save. And I really would have thought that the Bayern Munich the Bayern Munich hierarchy would have said, hey, this is a really great player, he's definitely someone the fans admire, let's keep him at the club. And of course he's German, which obviously counts for homegrown status. Let's keep him at the club, let's offer him the contract he wants. And it's surprising that they didn't go all out to do that. And again, I might be wrong on that. It's just what I read from a lot of articles and tweets from trustworthy sources. It's surprising if that's the case, you know. And I really hope he does do well for Real Madrid, and I think he will. I think he's a really decent player. As for Rodriguez, well, this guy had an amazing World Cup. You know, I didn't watch him for Monaco, but of course I'd seen him before, and I knew for a fact Colombia would do well. That's why I bet on them in the World Cup. And I was very pleased that he did have a fantastic World Cup, and it's not a real surprise to see a big club interested in him straight away after just 1 year at Monaco. And if he does go to Real Madrid, it will be very, very, you know, would I say a big step up for him? It probably is, to be honest. And, you know, I'd hope to see him do well, but as far as I'm aware, the price tag would be very, very expensive for Rodriguez because of what Monaco paid, and obviously because he'd, you know, be one of the hottest properties in the world right now, obviously after a fantastic World Cup. So, yeah, I'd hope they'd do both well. I hope Toni Kroos does well, and if Rodriguez goes there too, I hope he does well as well. But it'll be interesting to see. It definitely will. And yeah, there's a lot of talk Khedira is going to go to the Premier League, and that'll be very interesting if that happens. I don't know what club he'd choose, but oh, it's a good cross. Bruma! Oh, there it is! Bruma with the header. What did I say before the game started? This guy's insane. What a great header by Bruma, and we're 1-0 up with 20 minutes to go. Next question comes from... where are we? Jack Young, and he says, what do you think about Liverpool's chances next season in the Champions League? Yeah, it's hard for me to talk about Liverpool because there's a stigma apparently that I don't like Liverpool. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, with Liverpool, it's. I talked about this in a live commentary, a previous live commentary. I said, with Rodgers, he hasn't, you know, at the time of recording this commentary, it's the 18th of July, he hasn't signed any, you know, proven European Champions League level established players yet. Markovic has been signed, Omre Can's been signed, Lambert's been signed, Lallana's been signed. I can't think of anyone else. Hasn't signed a single player who's had more than 1 year in the Champions League, as far as I'm aware, or maybe 2 years. And oh, great save by the goalkeeper. And yeah, it's. You know, if you're going to play in the Champions League, you need some experience there. And yes, you've already got some players that are experienced, such as obviously Steven Gerrard, but you need to sign some as well, you know. And obviously Suarez hasn't been replaced yet. Again, as at the time of this commentary, it hasn't anyway. And, you know, I want Liverpool to do well in the Champions League. I really do. I think Liverpool being in the Champions League again is very, very good for English football. But I can't see them doing very well. Why did I do that? I thought the goalkeeper was going to come out. I can't see them doing very well unless they actually start to show the ambition. You know, I really can't see them doing that. You know, selling one of the best, you know, well, let's be honest, he really is one of the best players in the world, Luis Suarez, when he's on his game. Selling one of the best players in the world, your best player, and as things stand, not showing any signs that you're going to replace him with someone at that similar level, it's just not good enough. You know, it really isn't. And I hope to be proved wrong, I really do. But, you know, I think, you know, obviously depending on the group stage, draw would have to wait. I think they could get out of the group stage, but as for going really far, I can't see happening, unfortunately. But I hope to be proved wrong, and yeah, that's that. It's hard to talk about Liverpool for me because again, a lot of people do think I'm biased against them. I don't really know why, but yeah, I'd like to see them do well. But at the moment, based on the signings that Rodgers has made and of course the business he's done, including obviously selling Luis Suarez, I can't see him doing too amazing as things stand. But there you go. Next question comes from Ludwig Holm. He says, who do you think will win the Barclays Premier League? I said last year I think it'll be Chelsea, and I got that wrong. But I do believe this year Chelsea will win it. I definitely do. I think Chelsea have made some... they've done some great business. You know, Mourinho plays the market so well. And they've done some really good business. and I think Chelsea are going to go on to win it. I really do. I don't want them to. You know, they were talking about people thinking I don't like Liverpool. You know, it's a known fact I don't like Chelsea. But I think they will win the Barclays Premier League, to be honest. I think the business they've done is great, and I think Mourinho's going to get it sorted this year. Next question comes from Danny. He says, will Tottenham get into the top 4? I can't see it happening. I really like Pochettino, but I don't think he's the right managerial choice. I think they've made a big mistake there. I don't think Sherwood should have been given a job, but I don't think Pochettino should have done either. I think that was the wrong choice, in my opinion. And, you know, with the business so far and the rumours so far what Spurs are going to do, you know, with the teams around Spurs, that's the key, with the teams around Spurs that will be going for the top 4, I really don't think they will. You know, I think that City, Chelsea, United, Arsenal and Liverpool are all stronger than Spurs. I really do. So I can't see them getting into the top 4. Even Everton, I would say, are probably going to be on par with how Spurs will do this year, in my opinion. I hope to be proved wrong, because I do like Spurs. But yeah, I think Pochettino was the wrong appointment, and to be honest, I don't think he's going to get the best out of the group of the players, and yeah, I don't think they'll get into the top 4, to be honest. Next question comes from someone when I get a ball away, because I'm so close to winning the World Cup, and I don't want to concede possession. It's almost over now. Germany have just done absolutely nothing. That's offside, surely. Yeah, there you go. Next question comes from, where are we? Wow, I'm never going to be able to pronounce this guy's name, but I'll try. Oddbjorn Norstrud. He says, ever played Football Manager, and what do you think about it? Yeah, I love Football Manager, but unfortunately I just don't have the time to play it anymore. I would absolutely love to run it on this channel as well, but again, I literally don't have the time, and of course I don't particularly want to sacrifice doing daily FIFA videos to get out Football Manager content, because I know people will complain about that. So there you go. Next question comes from Ben Johnston. He says, what's the best game you've ever played? I think Modern Warfare 2, if you mean best video game. I think Modern Warfare 2. I absolutely loved Modern Warfare 2. It was just perfect, you know, for levels of enjoyment, it was absolutely amazing, you know, it really was. And yeah, I really enjoyed MW2. I'd say that's my favourite game I've ever played, to be honest. But yeah, there's been some great ones. And next question comes from Dog Tank. He says, do you think Millwall will ever get promoted to the Premier League? If that's going to happen, it will take a very, 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 very long time. Whether it will happen in my lifetime, I don't know. Oh, get there. Yes, Anthony Lopez. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It will happen in a very long time, and I don't know whether it will happen in my lifetime anyway. We don't have the resources. We don't have the... I'd like to say, you know, we do have actually quite a few good young players, and we do actually produce quite a good lot of young talent as well. But the problem is we don't usually hold on to them. Yeah, I can't see it happening for a very long time at least, but yeah, there you go. Next question comes from John Smith. He says, who was your favourite childhood football star and why? Probably Peter Schmeichel. I love Schmeichel. He was a real idol of mine growing up, to be honest. And yeah, we've won the World Cup. As you can tell by my voice, I'm absolutely delighted. I don't know, EA just ruined this for me, they really did. Don't get me wrong, I'm pleased I've won the World Cup. I'm really pleased I have, because obviously it's good to win our first international tournament on this career mode. But it's just the fact that I wanted to see Ronaldo lift the trophy, and the fact he retired during the World Cup just completely ruined it for me. But at least we've won it, I guess that's better than nothing, and yeah, there you go, we've won the World Cup. And yeah, I'll have to take the positives, and that is that we have completed our first, won our first tournament internationally in the career mode, and probably the only one as well, definitely the only one actually. And yeah, it's lifted by Andre Gomez, and yeah, there you go. It should be Ronaldo, but EA ruined that for us. They ruined the dream. They really did. I wanted to, because I had just so much fun playing with Ronaldo as I thought I would, and the fact that, you know, he retires mid-tournament is just absolutely outrageous. But still, we've won the World Cup, and I'm very, very pleased. And I guess what I'm gonna have to do is actually end the commentary here, because obviously I don't want to go back to the main menu, because you'll see some of the transfer business we've done. So as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have enjoyed the episode, please do leave a like, because it's much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. And of course, it only takes a second to click that like button, and I will see you for the next episode of my career mode very soon, where we will of course be starting the new season with Millwall.